Hello everybody and welcome. We're in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 and we have the B-1 Lancer. I went ahead and enabled it in the marketplace so it works in 2024. Now this is a 2020 model, so there may be a few bugs, but overall I don't think it's going to have very many issues. I've already done a quick flight to see if it works, and it does work. But I wanted to give a video on this because, you know what? I love the B-1. The Bone is the absolute beast bomber next to the B-2 and the B-52. But this thing is massive. They have one on display at the Dayton Air Force National Museum, and it's just by far massive. These engines are huge when you're looking at it in person. Let's go ahead and jump in the cockpit and see if we can get this thing running. All right, we are now in the cockpit, so let's go ahead and power this thing on. I know initially it took me a moment to figure out, I remember how to power this thing on. So we're gonna already kick on the generators. It's funny how there's generator 1, 2, and 4. There's no 3. Let me know in the comment section from any B-1 pilots or mechanics, are they missing a generator 3? I would think so by the way that you look at that. All right, we're gonna close the hatch. Right there, it's closing. All right, let's go ahead and kick on the APU, if I can remember where that's at now. APU bleed, APU start. So that's the left and the right. So left and right is starting. Now, I will say this aircraft is super loud. Even in person, I've seen a lot of videos. I've never actually seen this plane in person, but from all the videos I've seen, this thing is just straight loud. All right, so we're gonna click on the nose wheel steering right there. Get that ready. We're gonna arm anti-skids already. We're gonna also do the spoilers are armed. So we're going to go through a lot of things. We're going to go over the autopilot. It's very simple, but overall this aircraft works great in the sim. Let's go ahead and flip these. I believe these are, so there's nothing highlighting because it glitches out to being like, yeah, there's a glitch when it comes to the highlighting of the, yeah, like see these will highlight some of these right there, but then you go to this over here, they don't. Yeah, it's just the little things in my opinion, but overall I mean I love the B-1. If you want me to do a long haul flight with the B-1, let me know in the comment section below. Let's see, let's go ahead and start her up. We're going to air bleed, we're going to turn all the air bleeds on and then start her up. Engine 1. We're gonna watch down here. There should be a little bar that starts coming up for the power. Right there it is. Actually, this will go up, and then initially, then I think this one will also go up as well. Okay, I was wrong. It's not this one, it's this one that goes up also. But all right, we got power on engine 1. Fan RPMs are going up. Engine temperature is going up. Let's go ahead and do engine 2. You hear the engine 2 starting to power up. Actually, this does go up. All right, power level is going up. All right, so engine 2 is going up. All right, we'll go ahead and start up engine 3. Engine 3 is going. All right, final engine. And then now engine 4 is powering on. And engine 4 is also spooling up. So these are the power levels. We're at idle. You can put in a flight information for your flight plan. But we're not going to worry about that today. Let's go ahead and put these down to run. I find it weird that these knobs are all of different like angles and sizes. It almost looks like. All right, electronics. Everything's looking good. We can disconnect the APU now. So let's go over here. Kill the APU. APU's killed. Packs. Let's go ahead and turn on packs 1 and 2, or left and right. So you see the APUs right there are killed. There's the FMS. There it is, pack 1 and pack 2. Feeds into the bleed 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then also feeds into the engines. So we should be good. Should be good to go. Parking brake is on. Let's go ahead and disengage parking brake, which is right there. And let's go ahead and taxi to the runway. We are lining up for our takeoff. Let's go ahead and come to a full stop. I do like the afterburners on this aircraft. Now, I wish it was a little brighter and a little louder, but it definitely resembles pretty close to what a B-1 is. So in a moment, you'll see the afterburners, boom, but then they'll get longer and longer because this thing has some really impressive thrust. All right, I know right now it probably should be pushing us. Let's go ahead and release brakes. Forgot to put the flaps into flight or takeoff configuration. We're at about 100 knots and climbing. This plane needs a lot of runway too. All right, we're at almost 150 knots. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the nose up, rotate just slightly. Like I said, it needs a lot of runway. I think it took too much runway. I don't know if I could have pulled up on the yoke a little harder, but that took a lot of runway. Gears up. But we are off the ground now. 250 knots and also climbing above 3,000 feet. This is a really fast bird too for a bomber. I know I can go over Mach 1. Off the top of my head, I believe it can go Mach 2, or at least close to it, maybe. Now, I could be wrong on that one, but I know this thing does go supersonic. We're at 272 knots. I had to think about that for a moment. All right, let's go ahead and set the autopilot. So we're going to come down here. Our heading. We're going to change our heading to... We're going to do it right there. Right there is where that marker is. Course, we're good. Altitude. We're going to go to... We're just going to set it to 20,000. No, we're going to go to 30,000. Just for kicks and giggles. Airspeed. All right, we're going to keep that like that. Autopilot engaged. Select heading. All right, we're going to also... It's right now changing course. Or changing its heading. So we set it for 30,000, but we did altitude hold and it put it back down to where it was at. Now we put it at 30,000. And we're at 279 knots and climbing. Let's go ahead and sweep the wings back. Oh, it won't let me. I think we have to be within a certain parameter. Let's go ahead and pull back on the throttle. Afterburner is disengaged. I'm just waiting for the... I forget what the parameters are to be able to sweep the wings. I'm like testing it every once in a while. All right, let's come down here. So I don't know what the map weather. I think this is the weather. There's just nothing on there. Top view. But then here's your FLIR. And then your engine data. We're going to keep it on FLIR. So there really isn't a ton of clickable surfaces. Like you can click all these right here, none of these right here. I mean, it's not like it's a fully simulated bomber. It's just something pleasant to fly. There we go. I think you have to be over 300 knots. That makes sense, though. Over 300 knots, then you can sweep the wings back, and then you can go pedal to the metal. Full afterburners again. Oh yeah, this thing is cooking right there. That thing is actually, it's picking up speed pretty fast. But no, I really do like this B-1. It's not like a full scale like B-2 or any of the other fighters like Top Mach or Foxtrot India Echo does. Quick Flight does their generic planes and their Apaches the same way, which I'll probably do another video on the Apache. I have a lot of fun with that Apache. But if you made it this far, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. We're getting ever so close to that 10,000 mark, and I would love to hit it before the end of the month. You guys have been fantastic, and I'm looking at doing more stuff. I have been toying around with an idea of doing farming simulator, Right now, my racing equipment is decommissioned. That's not working anymore. I don't have it set up. But we're looking at doing some farming simulator. We're going to be doing more, probably some sea power. I have more content I want to do. But right now, it looks good. We're got 360 knots. Trying to see if we can break the sound barrier with this thing. So we are going Mach 1. But the plane does have a sonic boom kind of sound. And I put air quotes on that because it doesn't really sound that great, but to show you what it sounds like. That's why I keep going outside. I guarantee the people below are like, what is that thunderous roar? It's called a bomber. So we're still gaining altitude. We're going about to hit 25,000 feet. So if you also do this, we're gonna do a little bit of wandering around. Whoop, there we go. Well, there's the poop chute. So I was told by other pilots that fly bombers, you don't use the toilet for number 2 on these planes. If you do, you're in for I guess a rude awakening, or you're just gonna get scolded the entire flight. It's like, you idiot. But yeah, this is what the back of the plane looks like. Not much to it. Some cargo, a bathroom. Really, I mean, I'm assuming if they have a long haul and they have to sleep, they're gonna sleep right there. There just is not much to this, the cockpit of this area. It just goes to show this plane has a purpose, and it's not to have comfort. We're still full afterburners. We're probably burning through a ton of fuel. Yeah, because if you look down here, at this point, I'm pretty sure our engine temperature is through the roof, since we're approaching 30,000 feet. We just haven't really let off the full throttle. All right, so 400 knots in climbing. We're at, there it is, 1.0 Mach 1. Now that we're leveling off, we are picking up speed rapidly. I think the fastest I've got this plane is 560 knots. But yeah, this plane can cook. Now I know the B-2 is a subsonic. It doesn't go supersonic. That is the sound I was talking about. That sounds awful. We're gonna do that one more time, but that sounds, to me, doesn't sound natural. But we are supersonic now. We have broken the sound barrier. And inside the cabin, it is, on my headset right now, it's ridiculously loud. It is so loud. But let's go ahead and go back outside. Hear that awful, awful Mach sound, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I don't like that. I do not like that. But it's a lot quieter. Definitely not as loud as what it is in the cabin. But we have autopilot engaged. That was super simple. If we really wanted to, we can engage right here is auto throttle. Nav mode. So if you have a flight plan in right down here, you can hit nav and it'll fly it. It'll fly the actual path, the flight plan. You have down here. So notice that we're level. Right here shows that we're level with the horizon. This does not show that. So what we're going to do is change this. There. This mode actually shows us level. Not exactly sure what mode this is called, but it looks cool. Flight director, that is the flight director where it's telling us, hey, then you're following this line. Then there's your ILS dots. Your navs. But yeah, I mean, this plane's really, I mean, it works 100% in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, which is awesome. I may do a casual flight with this from like point to point, maybe from like East Coast to West Coast. I don't know. I know that that's probably going to take a better part of a day for me. So we're going right now 524 knots. That's pretty fast, but we can reduce that because, well, we don't need to do full afterburners the entire time. We will burn through our fuel like it's nothing. There's that awful sound again. So the bomb bays do not open, as far as I'm aware. I've tried everything, looked up online, everything. Nope, I don't believe they open, because I believe the area where you would open them is this panel right here. Let me know in the comment section below if I'm incorrect and if there is a another point where I can click on it. But yeah, I am 99.9% sure the bomb bay doors do not open on this. But we're going to go back outside where it's quiet. Okay, now it's quieter. It's a lot quieter out here. But yeah, that is the B-1 in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. She's a beauty. She's a big bone. B-1 Lancer, everyone. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.